MLS Aces Podcast. This is your host, Tom Sweezy. This is episode 340 with Jason Vivang. Jason, are you ready for, we have less time to talk today. I forgot. So are you ready for less time to talk?
We're going to have to speed run something instead of like last time where we were 20 minutes in on topic one.
Leroy Jenkins this shit, and let's get into it. So I'm diving right in. Reason why we have to speed run is because we have an interview at the end of this episode. I'm pretty sure it ran like 18 minutes with FC Dallas striker Logan Farrington. So if you're an FC Dallas fan or just a fan that likes to hear about players,
who doesn't want to hear insider player advice or
Logan
info?
was a good dude. Dude. Appreciate you, Logan. I appreciate the team at FC Dallas.
You are now a friend of the pod.
You are now a friend of the pod. Hot Dog Farrington. You'll learn about the nickname and why. And he's definitely, it's funny when I interview someone now of like a younger generation than us, and I was just saying it about something else, but someone of a younger generation, like he called the hot dog a glizzy, and I'm like, I've never called the hot dog naturally a glizzy.
Like realistically, yeah, never in my life.
Yeah, like I'm joking around said it, but he legitimately called it a glizzy, and I was like, wow, you are 23, sir, and I am 30, and that's
so funny. We're not even old. What, are we old?
We're getting there. We're hitting, not old, but we're hitting
the stage where we're in between. Everybody's doing things differently.
Exactly. Are we having an episode before your birthday?
This would be it.
This is it. Happy birthday, Jason.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Jason.
I had to think about that one. So, this is it.
Your birthday is in a few days. We won't have another one beforehand. So I'll be the first person to say it, unless someone else really said it.
No, you nailed it.
Boom. I'll take it. All right. Let's dive in. We got a shit ton of transfers to talk about.
Many that I'm really uninterested in. Yeah, there's a couple good ones.
I'm not going to dive into all of them that I've listed out. But I got a bone to pick with Tom Bogert, and I hope he sees this video. Fuck you, Tom Bogert, because I get myself all mentally prepared to talk about George Campbell and
he knows when we record.
Every other transfer that happened that of like some significance, Mateus Click and everything like that. And you have to go out on social media down at the All-Star game, and you have to just announce that LAFC are in some beginning stages talks with Heung-min Son. Like, you have to do that. Now I don't know where to go. And this isn't like...
We start with George Campbell still.
George Campbell's still number one. Jason, Heung-min Son isn't like a guy who is maybe as globally recognized as Lionel Messi, but he's pretty fucking globally recognized. He isn't maybe, of an age where he's like 29, 30, 31, but he's still playing at the top of his game. This is a big move if LAFC pull it off.
This is a huge move. Like, I see that, and I'm like, Son he's still like one of the best players for Tottenham every single year, right? Like, in the Premier League, keep in mind, sure, they didn't have a great season. They did win a trophy, though.
They did. He is a Europa League champion, Heung-min Son.
I don't know. I mean, I want to see it happen. I don't know. Like, I think this is a much better move than like the Giroud move went for them, which is obviously not saying much as as a bar, but like just profile of player, and like they can kind of build around him a little bit, or he can play to his strengths in that team where I feel like Giroud maybe couldn't. Yeah. I think Son and Denny Bouanga together,
that's fun.
Might be scary.
Nathan Ordaz in the middle of that. That's fun. I will say Heung-min Son had 11 goals and 12 assists across all competitions last season. 22 goal contributions going from Premier League, Europa League level to the MLS level. I think he'd pop off. I think it would be a ton of fun. I'm all here for it. I think if LAFC do it, then we'll talk a little bit deeper. It's just
I think we need to just wait till they do it, because it's one of those moves that's like, I guess it's more realistic than some of the big names that we hear every once in a while, but like, come on. Let's wait.
I mean, it would definitely, I think, change things in terms of like MLS opening up to an Asian market, because he is absolutely loved in Korea. Like, absolutely, it's insane from everything that I've seen and I've heard. His impact on the section of the planet. I can't think of the right word for that, but you get it, of Asia in general. So I think it would be very cool. I'm gonna maybe say Lionel Messi-esque, possibly, in terms of maybe not as big of an impact, but I'm excited for it. The next thing, Tom Bogert, also, just as we sit down to fucking hit record, says that Don Garber talking a little bit about potential changes to Major League Soccer. This was in regards to the potential calendar change to align with the European calendar. Don Garber said, in quote, quote, "We believe the alignment is something that makes sense," end quote. But there was no announcement today of anything, obviously. Bogert also saying that Garber added roster rules are under discussion, as well as a different playoff format and even more. Then Bogert continued to say, Don Garber, on why there hasn't been a decision or a vote on the calendar change. Quote, "This change is seismic. It's not something that we should do lightly. We have teams across multiple climates and time zones, unlike any other league. If we do make the change, we won't go back on it." End quote. Jason, European calendar shift. It's been a topic that we hear every single year a little bit. I think you and I agree that we don't like it, but give me your why.
I think it's just unnecessary. Like, obviously, there's do you really want to be playing in Minnesota in December? Like, no, right? Nobody. Toronto, I mean, Chicago, half the year is horrible.
New York sucks.
Everywhere. Like, think about all the climates that these teams are going to be playing in. Like, half of them aren't fun to play in December.
You literally have like
you're not outside.
Texas and Florida are the only fun states that
Florida, Texas, California.
That's it.
Nashville, maybe.
Even San Jose would kind of suck. I'm not saying it would be as bad as other places, but I'm pretty sure Northern California gets like stuff.
Either take a break, I guess. Like, the only way I could see it actually happening is if they had like a month and a half off in the middle of the season, which I think is a bad move, because if they want to grow the MLS as a product, how is this, like, somebody tell me how this is growing that, because it's not. It's going to hurt it.
Yeah.
None of these stadiums have domes. Okay, like 2 do, but like.
Yeah. And one of them is a hot weather state. Shout out Atlanta United.
Yeah, like, we're not in domes. Like, I'm not going to a game in negative 15-degree weather. That's crazy.
You would kill.
Plus, you're now competing. We're competing right now with MLB, basically, right? In terms of sports that are on at the same time for the majority of the season. It's baseball. That isn't probably a huge crossover. I don't know. My point is, you're now going to have to cross over with NFL, NHL, NBA. You could argue like at least two NFL and NBA are probably the two biggest competitors in the sports leagues. So not only is it like doesn't make sense to me from like the climate perspective and like how they're going to do this, it doesn't make sense to me from like competition and trying to get people to show up.
I also think now you're competing with every other European league for the most part. I mean, you're competing with them now.
The timing is like there's never an MLS game on at the same time for the most part.
No, but you are competing with, I think, people are going to sit down and watch the games that they want to watch, right? If the Premier League and waking up early on a Saturday and having a Premier League morning is what's important to them, they're going to do that and skip the MLS and vice versa.
I'll do both.
I mean, my wife might hate it, but I'll run straight through 24 hours and give me soccer. But no, I don't know. I don't like it. I think mainly for the climate, the attendance, and I think that's also going to hurt then the play on the field and the type of player you're going to be able to attract.
Injuries will probably go up, right? Like,
I mean,
cold.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a sports scientist.
I'm going to say I don't know enough about that.
But I feel like I would be more comfortable playing in 70-degree weather than 10-degree weather.
I agree. I think to me, the only way a schedule change works is if you do what we see in Mexico, what we see in Costa Rica and various other leagues around the Americas, is a clausura and an apertura, a spring league and a fall league. But
do we want two? Like, it's so.
I mean, it works.
I don't think that's what they're going to want.
I don't think that's what they're going to want, but what I'm saying is it works in terms of there's examples of it being successful on the planet. I think they want to look at the European style of one season, not splitting it up, all of that. But in Don Garber's statement, which I don't always agree with him, but I agree that they have to do it right, and they're going to think about it, and they're going to take the time because there's various different time zones, climates, and everything else that goes into it. So,
look, I mean, yeah, sure, they might be able to schedule a lot of the games in warmer areas, but I don't think it totally would work that way. Like, there's too many teams, and there's
you have
too
to
many
have home away. You can't do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you're actually away for the next 3 months.
Yeah, you have to play your home, like what Toronto did during COVID, right? They played all their games out of Orlando or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Atlanta, you're home for the first.
You're called Atlanta, but you're really playing in Mesa, Arizona for the next 6 months. Like I don't know. It's stupid. It's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna hate it.
I'm not convinced it's gonna happen.
There's a lot of people saying it's more likely of a when rather than an if.
It feels that way, but like logistically, it just doesn't make sense.
That's fine.
I feel like they're gonna figure that out. I'm hoping. I'm hopeful.
Yes, I will try to keep my hope as well, and that it makes sense to not have people sitting in negative 4-degree weather in Colorado in February. But
blizzard when we're all trying to stay warm.
We'll figure it out. I think maybe Don Garber just really likes an orange soccer ball. I think that's maybe what it is. He's like, this is fun. People love when there's an orange soccer ball.
For like one or two times, we love it. But if you're gonna show me 8 games that day and there's snow on all of them, I'm gonna go insane.
Yeah, this might be turning into a USL podcast real quick. All right, let's move into the transfers. So I'm just gonna kind of lump these together as best as I can, Jason, and we'll talk about it. CF Montreal making some moves. They've transferred center back George Campbell to EFL Championship side West Brom. The reported number out there is $2.5 million, but that was not. I know I said fuck you, Tom. That is not Tom Bogert confirmed, so I don't know on that. Campbell obviously has his one cap with the USMNT. He has 18 games played for Montreal this year. And I will say, for a very bad CF Montreal team, George Campbell actually played very well, and the move doesn't surprise me. He's a relatively young center back, and we've seen that move work for other youngish American center backs.
Get him out of there, man. That's how I feel. I feel like I think we talked about it through text a little bit, but it's like Montreal is just content making money, and they're probably gonna maybe have another player come through, sell them. Like it's not a team that wants to be. It doesn't seem to want to be competitive on the field.
Fully agree with you. I mean, look,
and if you're George Campbell, why would you want to stay there?
And I think, yes, we said this. If I'm a player, if I'm 18 to 25, I'm looking at a move to Montreal to then propel me to a move to Europe, because that's what's happened in the last half decade.
Yeah, I think like the bigger conversation would just be about Montreal themselves and be like, how do they ever see this club going? Like, conversely, if you're 26 to 33 or whatever, 35, what incentive do you have to go to a team that isn't going to compete?
The incentive is you're on an MLS contract, not a USL Championship contract, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, but like, what about making your team better? Like significantly better. Hey, look, you went from USL to Montreal. Yeah, I agree there, but
no, I'm saying like I personally think if you're a young player, you go to Montreal to use it as a stepping stone to Europe. If you are a player in his prime or going post prime, I think you're playing at Montreal because you end up you're making more money on an MLS roster than you are on many other rosters globally. And you're obviously not good enough for a top 5 league or whatnot. So I think that's the reason why
you could be their DP, that the one guy they pay on the team.
And that is me not trying. It's probably a very disrespectful statement to some players on the CF Montreal roster right now. I own it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just think that's kind of what the case is ultimately at this point. Yeah, I'll.
I mean, I think it's more like, yeah, it sounds bad, but it's sort of more on the leadership and ownership that it's not like the players aren't going to go out there and give their best. Like, that's not what we're saying at all. We're saying it doesn't feel like the people building the team care.
Oh, we have openly shit talked the CF Montreal ownership plenty of times on this podcast. I know we are never going to get a CF Montreal player on this podcast, so that is totally fine. I'll dig that grave even more. Yeah, I mean, the biggest priority for them is obviously let's bring in players, let's loan players, let's sell players and make a profit. And with Major League Soccer and obviously no promotion relegation, they can do that, and they can be at the bottom of the league every year, and that's it. So to replace George Campbell and to continue to do this, the CF Montreal, they acquired center back Efrain Morales from Atlanta United for $400,000 in GAM, potential for another $350,000 in GAM, and Atlanta retained the sell-on percentage for Morales. He is a 21-year-old center back that has 6 caps for Bolivia already in his young career. He only made 12 appearances for Atlanta United as a homegrown for them, 5 of them coming this season. It never seemed like he was really breaking into the Atlanta first team, so this move actually makes sense. And to give Montreal credit, the moves always make sense. They're just going to end up
they make sense for them, right?
They're going to end up turning around and selling Efrain Morales in about 2 years to fucking Toulouse in Liga and for $1 million and do it again. You know, like that's just what Montreal.
Like, come on, give us more young players.
Can you give me a young player that's talented but will never break into your first team that will be an instant starter for us? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Anything else about Montreal?
No, I think we beat it.
All right.
Beat it dead horse. What is it? Beat the horse? I don't know.
I couldn't say that last week either.
I'm trying to make it that. You know, ignore that. Ignore that.
I think I fucked you up on that because I couldn't say that expression last week either. Vancouver Whitecaps will stick up in Canada. They've transferred away their U22 Initiative midfielder Pedro Vite to Liga MX side Pumas. And the Whitecaps, they also already signed his replacement in U22 Initiative winger Kenji Cabrera from the Peruvian First Division. Jason, let's start with Pedro Vite.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think
it's off.
You know, again, I this isn't the first person. I'm not the first person to say this argument. That's the way you say that.
We're doing great today.
If Pedro, we never do good. If Pedro Vite went to Chivas, Club America, Pumas, he went to Pumas. I meant like Monterrey that's the one I meant. If he went to like one of the big clubs of Mexico, I'd be like, I get it, you know. But like Pumas, really? Like you signed up to go play with Coco Carrasquilla, and Aaron Ramsey. I forgot is a Pumas player.
I forgot Carrasquilla is there.
So that's who you're that's where you're not going for the top of the top. Really, that's where it hurts. It's like if you're gonna go to Mexico, go to one of the big 3 or 4. Don't go to Pumas. But
I mean, I don't even care where he went. I'm just like, why? He was my X factor for this season for them, and it actually was coming true. It was working.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is when you're at a point where he's a U22 player and now he's actually performing the way you expected him to perform years later, he's going to get sold for a few $1 million more than what you bought him for, which is what happened. And
my thought is this, okay, if Vancouver thought maybe he doesn't have, they have had slight tail off here in their season. They're still in second with a game in hand, so they can easily get to first.
Yeah, but their form has been shitty. But
so there has been a tail off. Maybe they're like, we should sell him now when the price is high. But also, what if they just get back on track? It's not the tail off has come because Sebastian Berhalter was out. People were injured. I can't think of everyone off the top of my head, but
yes,
they could easily be back. They're not even. This isn't even bad. I don't know what I'm trying to. I feel like they could sell him for more later at the end of the season after they win a trophy.
I guess that's what I was about to say. Is to me, it's they don't know if they're going to get an offer for more later, so they decided to sell him now for the guaranteed offer that they.
And that makes total sense, but believe in your team. Like, what does this say to the rest of the team? We don't believe in you.
I look, this is, to me, this is some of the struggles of MLS being a salary cap league. And, I think he was aging out of the U22 contract. So his salary was going to hit the books soon, probably next year. And this is what happened to the LA Galaxy this year. Like, it's just what happens is clubs are forced to move on from these kinds of players and make the profit that they can. And this is just a case of it. Again,
I'm not going to be happy about it, though.
I'm not happy about it. To me, I just wish he went to a different club, but whatever. Pedro Vite, I just want to say his little shout out. He did win 3 Canadian championships with the Whitecaps. He had 5 goals, 4 assists in 29 games this year. And then they do bring in, like I said, 22-year-old winger / kind of an attacking midfielder, I guess, Kenji Cabrera from the Peruvian First Division. He is a U22 Initiative signing. He had 9 goals and 4 assists last season in 26 games for Melgar in the Peruvian First Division. So
this makes it a little better, I guess. I mean, this goes back to like every conversation. I feel like you speak words of wisdom in and just say like, well, they got another guy. So
yeah, because it's what you have to do. You have to look for the next U22.
Well, you do have to do that. His U22 initiative. He's 22 though, so isn't he only have 1 year allowed?
I think as long as his contract doesn't change, he stays under the U22 contract. But as soon as they sign him to like an extension or whatever, that's when that has.
All right. Well, yeah. So I mean, this is a pretty good scenario. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I will just say the Whitecaps scare me right now, and we can have a quick Whitecap conversation. In terms of the form has been awful. Now Pedro Vite is gone. Ryan Gauld still, I thought we were going to see him sooner. We haven't. You had last week, we talked about Sam Adekugbe being on the season-ending injury list, and now this week they add Ranko Veselinovic to that season-ending injury list. And Ranko Veselinovic does not get the love he deserves as a center back in MLS. Like, dude is one of the top performing center backs year in and year out for like the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's just the Whitecaps really haven't been great until this year, so he never really got the love. But Veselinovic is a strong center back, and things are just starting to add up a little bit to me here for the Whitecaps.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that. I'm sorry. I apologize about that.
No, you're good. I was honestly, like, my computer was absolutely going to take off because I tried to open up another tab. I want to look at the form guide, and I hadn't opened it prior to starting this episode, which was a big mistake.
It's totally fine. All I can say to you is I know the Whitecaps this last match day drew San Diego 1-1. I mean, not like either San Diego or Vancouver are really playing their best soccer right now. So
they're both just chilling at the top.
They're both chilling at the top because of a great hot start, but eventually that shit catches up,
I'll be curious. I mean, like going back to last week, it's interesting because this conference is not going to look anything like this in
the West wide open.
Season. Like,
I love it.
I may argue that there's not going to be a single team in the position they are now.
I want to hear the argument now. You had me thinking for a second. You said you may argue it. I want to hear the argument.
So yeah, I just kind of like jumped into that one. I think San Diego and Vancouver are not 1-2 at the end of the season.
No.
I mean,
when Heung-min Son comes in, LAFC rises to the top. Let's just be honest.
I think LAFC, Seattle, Minnesota may be in third at the end of the season.
That's fair.
Yeah, that might be the only team because I think Seattle and LAFC could. Seattle's defense has been slightly leaky in the last few games, but they're still so good.
You're not selling me much on this argument here. You already told me that Minnesota's going to finish where they're at.
No, okay. I think it'll be LAFC, Minnesota, Seattle. Why am I doing this to myself?
I'm just letting you dig your grave, sir. I'm having fun. All right,
Houston is in the playoffs.
Do you want me to dig you out of this?
Yeah.
Let's look at a team that actually might finish where they currently are in the standings, and that's St. Louis City. So St. Louis have been making some moves, and them in Minnesota have had a ton of fun, apparently. So first, St. Louis acquire forward Sang-Bin Jung from Minnesota United in a cash trade or a sale. But I fucking hate that we have to call it a cash trade. St. Louis sent over $1.6 million in a transfer fee with a potential for another $400,000, and Minnesota retains a sell-on percentage for Sang-Bin Jung. And St. Louis also acquired in a separate move, because you can't have two players in a cash trade. St. Louis also acquired left back Devin Paddleford from Minnesota United on loan for the rest of the 2025 season in exchange for a super draft pick. This is a move I feel like, Jason, you don't have much to say about, but I kind of have a little bit. So
go ahead.
Is that okay? I really like Sang-Bin Jung. I'm a big fan of his, and I just don't think he fit Eric Ramsey's style in Minnesota, which is fine, right? Different players have different styles and don't fit with every manager.
I also feel like he's not needed as much in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Given their talent, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot to say, but I don't think...
I think you do have something to say.
Well, no, my point is just, like, I think, like, it's no secret Minnesota's more talented across the board, and I feel like they don't need to rely on him nearly as much as St. Louis is going to have to use him for everything he can provide versus, you have MVP caliber players in Minnesota.
Eric Ramsey was also pushing Sang-Bin Jung out to play like right wing back a little bit too, and it's like that's not his natural position. Yeah. Naturally, he's pushed up the field more, and that's what he was brought over as a U22 Initiative player to be.
It's a lot of money for inter-MLS move.
Yeah.
Inter-conference move.
And I think ultimately, I think this pays off. I think Sang-Bin Jung's a very talented player, and I think it could be one that, like, he thrives in St. Louis.
I think this could be a good trade for both teams.
Yes. Yes, I fully agree with you. And then the Devin Paddleford one, this is just where I have my issue. St. Louis, like, have not figured it out. They're going down the Austin trail right now of a newer team just really just stumbling over themselves. Devin Paddleford, respect to him. I think he could be a very good MLS left back in his career. But not too long ago, St. Louis had Anthony Markanich, who is now a Minnesota United player, who now at left wing back has like fucking 7 goals this season, and he's banging it in. I think Devin Paddleford could be the next Anthony Markanich. Imagine St. Louis if you just fucking hung on to Anthony Markanich and Minnesota. To me, it's like this is where a front office and a club gets in their own way. And, I don't know. It just makes me angry. St. Louis, and they need to figure it out.
Wait, you're happy St. Louis is getting this or mad?
I'm happy St. Louis is getting Devin Paddleford because I think Devin Paddleford's a very good player. I'm annoyed at St. Louis because you had Anthony Markanich who beat Devin Paddleford out for his starting spot in Minnesota.
Yeah, you basically got a worse player for the one you gave. Right. Yes, I see what you're saying.
And Devin Paddleford is a good player. That's not me saying anything bad or you saying anything bad about him. It's just you had a very similar player who is now performing at a high level. You fucked yourself, St. Louis. That's where I'm at with it. All right, sorry. That is my little rant about that. Let's keep it moving through these transfers. Columbus Crew. They've transferred USMNT attacker AZ Jackson to Polish club Jagiellonia Białystok.
Nailed it, yeah.
Did not do that well.
We don't know. I haven't heard anyone else say that word.
Thank you. I appreciate that. AZ Jackson has not really thrived since the move.
Dude, how is Darlington Nagbe still a DP? That's crazy. Sorry.
I think it's the only way that they could really keep him on the top.
Off topic. Continue.
That's the AZ Jackson talk. AZ Jackson has not thrived since moving from St. Louis to Columbus, where I thought under Wilfred Nancy, he almost kind of seemed like a perfect fit. So look, he's young. He gets a move to a European league. Columbus, I guess, already kind of have a replacement for him in the French kid that we talked about last week. So I'm not too.
I'm curious what the fee would be because I think that would alter my opinion on the move. Like if
I'm
it's
gonna say at least $1 million.
and like that seems like pretty good business. I mean, it's Columbus again. Like I could say it for the 100th time. If they're doing business, I'm probably gonna trust what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. And do you also know who is on this same Polish first division club that I'm not going to try to repeat the name of?
Am I supposed to just like say a name?
I got you because you're never going to guess it.
Yeah, but this is so many different people.
It's Leon Flock. So
Oh,
AZ
wow.
Jackson
Okay.
and Leon Flock get to run around the Polish first division together. So that's a little fun MLS time. Colorado Rapids, they have waived DP winger Kevin Cabral, and they've also transferred center back Chidozie Awazium to Ligue 1 side Nantes for a reported fee of a little over $1 million. Might be honestly like 1.5 million, but it's not Tom Bogert approved, so I'm scared to say the number. So Colorado opening up some spots. They open up a DP spot. Now they, I think, desperately need a center back. Kind of ASAP, but
they're just getting rid of elite center backs or good center backs.
So apparently, Awazium wanted to return back to Europe. He hasn't seen his family, and like the Rapids were just kind of doing the favor to the player, which is really good on the Rapids front office and being a good organization. But this does put them in a little bit of a pickle on the field, so that's where I have my concerns. Is Awazium was a good center back, and now you gotta find that. So
and they're fighting here, so
yeah, they are fighting for sure. I mean, they're sitting in 7th right now on 30 points. Apparently, the report going around the internet right now, and I think this also might be Tom Bogert approved. Rob Holding, former Arsenal player, in talks with the Colorado Rapids. So we'll see.
That's like a cranky.
The Kroenke connection, yeah. I didn't think about that. I love how you just know, like you just instantly hear Colorado Rapids. You're like Kroenke Sports Group. You're like, I know that.
I do know that. As someone who's not an Arsenal fan.
Yes. I'm going to run through a few more of these really quick. Houston Dynamo, they signed a 28-year-old Czech international winger, Tomas Weisner. FC Dallas, they signed a Haitian international winger, Lucius Dedson from Danish club Odense BK. The Red Bulls, they signed Swedish international central defensive midfielder Gustav Berggren. Atlanta United, they waived Matthias Klick, which is an interesting move because he was on loan from DC. So, like, does he go back to DC? Like, I don't really know how that works, but,
DC's
sure.
like, I don't know if we want him.
Yeah, DC is like, we purposely tried getting
no take backs.
Literally. And then the last thing that I just wanted to say as far as moves this week was Minnesota United. They loaned goalkeeper Wessel Spiel to Irish club Shelbourne FC. Shelbourne FC was the club that I saw when I went to Ireland a few months ago live. So just love when worlds cross for me. So up the fucking Shells. And I hope Wesley Spiel has a great loan over in Ireland. All right. Did I miss anything transfer wise that you wanted to talk about, Jason? I know transfers are your favorite topic.
We're good. Let's move.
All right, let's go through some of the other MLS news before we get to some results.
Yeah, we got a 20-minute interview to add too.
We got this.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
This one isn't a long talking point here. LA Galaxy, they're going to host Toluca on October 1st for the Campeones Cup. Pray for the Galaxy.
Might be the first time that the Campeones Cup has a chance at a team competing in it that does not at all feel like they should be there.
Imagine the Galaxy win a trophy this year. That would be insane.
Okay. Now I'm in for that. Please.
Ricky Puig returns, one game only for 2025 Campeones
on crutches. Honestly, It might help still.
As we are recording this live on Wednesday night, the MLS All-Star Game is kicking off in about 20 minutes. Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba apparently did not make the trip to Austin to play in the MLS All-Star Game. Is this as big of a deal to you, Jason, as people are making this online? Because technically, let me finish. Technically, the rule per MLS is that if a player is elected to the All-Star Game and they choose not to participate in it and they're not injured, that they have to be suspended for a game, for the next game. Miami's next game is against FC Cincinnati, which is a big time second half of the season game. No. Now you can go.
I have seen a lot of people upset by this. Like a lot of people.
Yes.
Personally, it might be a hot take. I don't really care. When it comes to the actual rule, yes, I kind of do feel like we should just, that's the rule, right? So they should be suspended.
I think he should be suspended. Yeah.
I don't think we need to be that upset about, like, I'm not as into the All-Star game in any sport as some people do get.
It's fun. If MLS did it bigger and it was like a dedicated week,
it's also, I would think like that's fun. I think my biggest issue. Like how they're gonna say like, oh, we're gonna suspend players for missing this game without an injury. Yet we're gonna put this game on a Wednesday when Miami just played Saturday, and then Miami has to play. Is it Friday or Saturday? Like
Friday.
Yeah. So
and then Leagues Cup kicks off on Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah. So basically, like, how does that feel right? Like, can we just put it in its own week, and then you wouldn't have this problem at all? So to me, like, what would we rather see? Them miss the All-Star game and like, oh no, they skipped it, or like Messi gets injured in the All-Star game and pulls his hamstring. No one wants that.
I have an option C. Major League Soccer ditches the Leagues Cup idea, makes MLS All-Star a full week, and celebrates U.S. soccer. Period.
I thought you were going to be realistic here, man.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Realism. The only thing I want to add to this conversation is Tom Bogert just put out on social media, Don Garber, MLS Commissioner Don Garber on Lionel Messi's absence and if he will be suspended for skipping the All-Star game. Quote, we're managing through the process as we speak, end quote. So Lionel Messi's not getting suspended for this game, for the FC Cincinnati game or any other game.
I don't think he'll get suspended either. Do I think that they should suspend him? Yeah, because if it was anyone else, they probably get suspended.
The thing to me is like Messi does not need to play in the MLS All-Star game. I don't think he should play in the MLS All-Star game. I think he should take the punishment for not doing it, which is a suspension. But when Lionel Messi was coming to Major League Soccer, and obviously there's way more conversations that happen behind the scenes between Messi, his camp, MLS, Garber, all this stuff, like
Apple.
This needed to be figured out. Like, this needed to be like, hey, you're going to be an all-star every year. And maybe like we ask you to participate in the skills challenge and you're on the MLS All-Star roster. You don't need to play. Like, we'll figure it out.
Mean, he also could have just ran out there for 15 minutes and gone to take
I fully agree.
Like,
I fully agree with
I get why people are mad. It just personally doesn't like. I don't know if people are mad because he's not going to be at the All-Star game or they're mad because he's not going to get suspended. Because I can understand like him not getting suspended being kind of like, well, that's like the rule. Like that's annoying. But because like if Evander missed the All-Star game,
he'd be suspended.
Exactly. And that's like a high-profile player. So I totally get the art, like being annoyed that he's probably not going to get suspended. But I don't really like get if the people are mad that he's just I don't want to play in it. Like, come on.
Can I say my last piece around this is if I'm...
We've already spent too long on this.
Yeah, we have, but people care about it apparently. If I'm Inter Miami, I'm making up a fucking injury. Back tightness.
Messi, I mean, and they very well probably will.
And that's it. That's it. You just have to say Messi had a slight knee discomfort in training.
Take a page out of the NBA playbook and just...
fuck it.
Old. DMP.
I'm not sitting here saying like I think people should lie. People do lie though, and that is just the reality. And this is what should. If I'm if I'm David Beckham, if I'm an owner, if I'm fucking Javier Mascherano, I'm lying. Jordi Alba and Lionel Messi both picked up a knock in training. Boom. Period. Call it a fucking day. All right. Let's call this conversation a day and go quickly into some games from last match day, Jason.
I just need to say...
Yeah. Give it to me.
I feel like you kind of doubted me when I said El Trafico's always a banger, and this one will still be a banger. I said, sure, the Galaxy might be one of the worst teams we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
it was still a banger. It lived up to the hype. We got a 3-3 draw with a 90+7 minute goal.
With what? No, it's it's even before the Maya Yoshida goal. It's the altercation. It's the Eddie Segura red card. It's the fight. It's the fans throwing shit. It is everything you want from a big
7
rivalry.
yellow cards in this game.
Yeah. I mean, look.
6 goals, 7 yellow cards, a red card, a brawl, mini brawl, whatever. Fans getting into it. Yeah. A last minute goal. Come on. I told you. It was going to be good.
I doubted El Traffico. You are correct. I doubted El Traffico. And I doubted, Denny Bouanga with the brace, Gabriel Peck with the brace on the other side. That's fun. So LAFC apparently extended Dilrusson, the winger that they have on loan from Liga MX. They extended his loan for at least one more game, I think I read from Tom Bogert.
Funny that's even possible.
Which is
we want you for one more game.
And he scored in this game with the Galaxy, so maybe we're gonna extend the DP loan game by game here until Heung-min Son is coming, and then we're gonna ditch you. But
this was a 3-2 lead in the 79th minute.
Yeah,
or 3-1.
Yeah, and then the LA Galaxy turned it on, which is why I don't think the Galaxy are going to finish in last place by the end of the season.
I mean, they've definitely started to look better. Since we said we're not talking about them till they win, they've won. So
yeah, so shout out, good job, Galaxy, good job. So yeah, El Tráfico was fun. It's always fun. I don't think fans should be throwing stuff at the refs as they walk.
No, fans shouldn't be throwing anything on the field. I don't care.
That's the one thing I'll say is shame on you, fans. Boo. But yeah, other than that, the game was fun itself. So I'm really glad you brought El Tráfico up first, Jason.
Yeah, I just needed some credit because I feel like you were doubting me a little bit.
I wasn't doubting you. I was doubting El Tráfico.
I don't remember what else I said. What was the other game we picked? Is it Seattle? No.
I really can't tell you off the top of my head. Right?
It might have been Minnesota.
Yeah, and that game was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Or Vancouver, San Diego.
Game was kind of boring. Not gonna lie, but
I think that one was your opinion, actually.
What game wasn't boring? That was a 1-1 draw. Was Houston Dynamo versus Philadelphia Union. I'll be honest, the game actually was kind of boring, but the storyline around what happened in this game is really fun. So in stoppage time right before the half, former Philadelphia Union midfielder Jack McGlynn puts away a PK in front of the home fans. He kisses the Houston Dynamo badge a bunch of times, just full on, whatever. Turns around and is doing the Rob Van Dam pointing at his name on the back. And this pissed a lot of Philadelphia Union fans off online. And I get it. You're celebrating against the former team. There's always the, I'm not going to celebrate type of thing. Yeah. Jack McGlynn was like, fuck Philly. And I'm just going
what did we not know?
So apparently there was a whole Jack McGlynn really did push for the transfer out of Philadelphia this offseason. He didn't want to be playing there anymore and stuff like that. So, clearly something happened behind the scenes that pissed him off about the Philadelphia Union. Clearly. Yeah.
I don't have much to add. It is funny though. Like just it's classic MLS. Just classic
crazy. Jack McGlynn.
Classic Jack McGlynn? I didn't know he had that side of him, to be quite honest.
I just think Jack McGlynn's a dude that will talk some shit. He just looks like it to me.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this side of him to come out.
I think
we need that fierce side of it at the U.S.
I need Jack McGlynn to have a shit-talking attitude and a monster left foot. That's what I need from Jack McGlynn, and he's showing it so far.
And both of those things might be true.
Is there another game that you want to bring up, Jason?
Let's talk about Seattle, I guess. I don't know.
That game, I'll be honest.
There was a lot of I feel like a decent amount of to me this week.
A lot of the later games last Saturday kind of killed my MLS mood a little bit. Was it a fun game? Yes, Danny Musovski scoring and all that fun stuff.
I mean, I think that's the conversation. Is Pedro de la Vega also assist in a goal. Yeah. These are guys that I guess Musovski's more of a surprise, but De La Vega is we're ready for this little breakout kind of thing. And maybe we're getting it. Maybe we're getting close to it.
We've seen flashes of it, and it's definitely better than it was last year, but it's still not great. I'm not going to sit here and say Pedro de la Vega is producing like
he's been in and out. I feel like the entire time he's been in Seattle. Like, didn't he get hurt in the very first game he played?
Yeah, last year. Was it last? Yeah, last year. Yeah,
last year. Yeah. So I'm willing to give him some time before I say like, oh, it's been a failure of a signing. But like, I think there's something coming. I think there's something coming here.
Okay,
I'm high on Seattle still. I'm not. I am too terrified to drop them because they hang around. They hang around, and then they're going to be an MLS Cup, and we all know it. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's how aggressive you get. Like, you go to the MLS Cup. My concern with Seattle is obviously no Stephen Fry, right? Like,
I actually picked him for MLS Cup. So
he's done for a while. Jordan Morris exits this game with an injury, and he's going to be out for a few months. They're expecting him to play again later in the season, probably around playoff time. But look, the Sounders are deep. The Sounders are talented. Brian Schmetzer gets the most out of his guys, but you are eventually going to need Pedro de la Vega, Jesus Ferreira, guys like that to consistently step up and not just be, oh my God, he had 3 assists in this game.
Well, when you have Danny Musovski, you might not need that.
Danny Musovski is up to 8 goals on the season. Sir.
He's killing it, man.
He's banging it. I'm a big Moose guy. Big Moose guy. I am just going to quickly mention, because last week we said we don't talk about them that much, and I feel like I need to give them some more love. Nashville FC. Yes, it was only a 1-0 win over Toronto at home. Sam Surge
That's Nashville's bread and butter, man.
I mean, it is. They've been scoring more. Whatever.
They have been scoring more. No, they actually have been. I mean, they've scored a lot, but still,
Sam Surge scoring. He is tied with Lionel Messi for the Golden Boot right now in Major League Soccer with 18 goals. But I mean, again, we said it last week. Outside of that Inter Miami loss, 2 match days ago?
Yeah.
This team hasn't lost. This team's playing at such a high level. They're fun, and I think Nashville SC, I think they might be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. I think.
On form, they're currently second. So
yeah, I think it's Cincy and Nashville.
I am dying for a Nashville versus Cincy game.
Yeah,
especially because they're pretty close together, aren't they? Like proximity wise.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could not tell
Nashville's in Tennessee.
Where Tennessee is on a map.
Tennessee's here. Like, is Kentucky above Tennessee a little bit? And Cincinnati's on the edge of Kentucky. I've been to Cincinnati. It's right on the edge of Kentucky.
Okay.
It might be pretty far because the U.S. is big, but compared to what we could get, it's pretty close.
You live in the middle of the country, sir. I'm a coastal elitist over here on the East Coast. Okay, I don't.
Do they count as Midwest?
Yeah,
would you count them as Midwest?
Chicago's
no, Nashville's South, though, isn't it?
No, I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know.
I've been to Nashville and Cincinnati, but
I've been to a lot of states. Haven't been to either of those two. So,
those are cities.
Well, no, I'm saying just yes, I understand. I've been to a lot of states. I've never been to Ohio or Tennessee. Is that
anyway? Well, you were saying Nashville. Yeah, they're very good. The East is insane. We talked about it last week, but the East is genuinely crazy.
Yeah. And
you have Orlando in 6th with 43 goals on the season. That's more than I think that's. Oh, Chicago, 44 goals on the season. We're not even in the playoffs.
Chicago's banging it in, bro.
Unfortunately, they've allowed 40 goals.
I'll just quickly say Orlando picked up 3 points on the road. Their 2-1 win over New England. Martin Ojeda, I mean, he's continuing his fantastic year. He had a brace. Chicago, they picked up a 2-0 win over Montreal. Hugo Kuipers, he had a goal in this game. He's been scoring a pretty good amount lately. He's at 13 on the season. Zinkernagel, MLS All-Star Philip Zinkernagel, he has 17 goal contributions on the year. I would not have said that coming into.
He has been so good. So good.
Yeah, and you guys needed a win bad. You guys were on a 4-game winless streak, and definitely a big win for you there. I'll give you your fire time to shine if you like, Jason.
We're hanging around. All I'm saying is we're hanging around. This has been better than like the last decade. So I'm pretty optimistic. I think there's obviously a ton of room to grow. But like the first season of Greg, the first half season has gone way better. than I could have hoped for, I guess. The new signings, I mean, Bamba's been good, and we're not even talking about him, right? Because Zinchenko
fine.
He's not been bad.
If he in my brain, Bamba should be doing Zinchenko numbers and
probably
in my brain.
I mean, but also Kuipers is playing amazing. That's because of the signings around him, including Bamba. So sure, the numbers might not be there for Bamba, but the team play is.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't. We got to start somewhere, man. In Chicago, we need to start somewhere. We do have a game in hand, and we could be in we could get an MLS Aces derby for the playing game.
I'd hate that. I'd hate.
There's a real chance of it.
I'd really dislike that.
It's. I mean, there's a lot of teams. Well, there's actually really only like 4
New
teams
York City has. We haven't debuted our new DP10 yet. Okay, so once we get him, let's see where the form goes.
Again, I don't think Charlotte is above you.
Well, look, Charlotte. So the only thing I was going to say about them. No, I wrote no Ajimang, no problem. So Wilfred Zaha maybe had the best game of his Charlotte career. A goal and an assist.
Definitely had the best game of his career.
Pep Biel, a goal and an assist. Biel's now up to 21 goal contributions in 23 games this season. He has 9 goal contributions in his last 5 games. Toklamati, the dude who's stepping in at striker for Ajiman, he has 4 goals in his last 6 games. Yes, Charlotte
3 straight wins for Charlotte too.
They haven't beaten the most competitive teams, but they're winning, and I think that's.
And they have Toronto next.
They could pick up 4 straight wins, and Charlotte's right back into the combo. You know,
I mean, they're in the combo. Like the funny thing is, the perspective is way off because like Charlotte has 35 points. Like they'd be like fighting with LAFC in the West. So perspective kind of matters. Conference play matters. The conference is just way harder. So
yeah, and Pep Biel MVP candidate still in my brain.
I still think Charlotte is a playoff team. I don't think I have them near where we had them going into the season. But
no.
Like they're a playoff team, and I expect them to be there in the playoff spots at the end of the season. And I'm not talking about like the 8-9 spots. I think they should be in the 5, 6, 7 probably.
I agree, and I think we'll see them there. I'm gonna take a guess.
And I mean, there's a pretty big drop off as of right now from 10 to 11. So there's like 10 decent. Well, in the East.
Yes, and talking East only. But listeners, viewers, you're welcome. We went 52 minutes, and I didn't bring up how Inter Miami destroyed the Red Bulls 5-1. I could have led with that and been really happy about my.
I didn't think we needed to talk about it. Everyone probably already heard it.
Yeah, I mean, Messi balled and all of that. Jason, give me your MLS, and this is the last MLS match day for like.
It's kind of sad, man.
Quite a little bit because of stupid old Leagues Cup. So give me your.
Will MLS. I be watching Leagues Cup? Yeah.
100%, but still stupid.
I'm giving it
part of the problem, Jason. Okay.
There's some decent games this week too.
Give me your Friday pick and give me a Saturday pick.
The Friday pick is San Diego versus Nashville. I know San Diego's kind of on a little bit of a downturn. Nashville is very good right now. This is in San Diego.
I would have said Columbus, Orlando, but
I also really like that game. I think both of those are good options. But like you said, we give Columbus credit all the time. And also, we talk about Orlando more than Nashville. Like, we don't talk about Nashville. So, Nashville, you get the game of the week.
I brought them up. Come on.
Today, actually, we talked about them last week, too, I think. But
give me your Saturday game to watch. There's an obvious one. I mean,
I wonder which one it could be. Yeah, I will probably pick Inter Miami versus FC Cincinnati. I think those two teams are playing at super high level. This is like a pretty massive game for both teams, just from points alone. Like Cincinnati could take a huge jump over Miami if they consider them their number 2 threat. I mean, you could argue they're not the number 2 threat, but you could also make the argument they are. I don't know. I'm rambling, but my point is Miami. Like, I don't know. I don't need to say anything about Miami. We all know Miami. So,
and I mean,
this might be the DePaul debut, right?
No, he's not officially signed yet, so 100% not. I wish. That would be big, because like fucking someone's trying to swipe at Messi in this game, and Rodrigo de Paul just get a red card in the first 10
straight
minutes.
boot through his leg.
And that's if Lionel Messi's playing in this game. But yeah, it was what, 2-3 match days ago, Cincinnati shut out Miami 3-0, and Evander had to put on a fucking show. So
if Messi isn't playing in this game,
DC Austin.
No. Chicago versus New York Red Bulls. There.
I can honestly see it.
That will be a decent game, and they're kind of fighting for the same playoff spot.
And I've been joking around about it, but Leagues Cup does start next Tuesday. We're not doing a full-on preview or anything for you guys. Just a reminder, it's going to be MLS versus Liga MX in this initial stage, and then the standings are going to be MLS and Liga MX, and then it's the top 6 teams.
I hate
even
this
though
change.
They don't play each other. And
I forgot they changed it.
Because Liga MX clubs were just getting eliminated early on by MLS clubs, so they had to make it fair. Come on now.
Well, you know what I'm not going to watch? CF Montreal versus Lyon.
I mean, you don't got to shit on that much, bro. Come on.
I don't want to see Lyon get beat that bad.
I will actually say, in a very fair Liga MX versus MLS conversation, I'm excited for Pachuca versus San Diego, because San Diego gets their first Liga MX experience in a competition. So we'll see how that goes.
It's bothering me again that there's like these competitions don't have all the teams.
Yeah.
Especially this one, because they paused the season. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, don't get to watch a Fire game for like a month?
It's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? They shortened the break too, because
that was an issue 3/4 of a month.
I don't know, whatever. It's fucking
till end of August.
Just cancel the tournament. Just fucking throw it out. Whatever.
Yeah, that's an option.
But don't cancel. Don't stop listening to this. Don't cancel listening to this, because we're rolling right into our interview with FC Dallas striker Logan Farrington. Thank you guys, and talk to you guys next week. And 3, 2, 1. MLS Aces Podcast. This is your host, Tom Sweezy, joined for another interview. We got Logan Farrington of FC Dallas. Logan, how are you? It's a nice hot summer day. I'm sure down in Dallas it's even hotter. I'm up in New York. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Just got done with training. You're right. It is a hot one down here. So just getting through the heat, but getting used to it.
Can I ask you a super easy, quick question right off the top? Hot Dog Farrington, where's the nickname come from? I'm sure it's been out there. I know it's been out there, but
I believe it came from last year when we had Dollar Glizzy night, Dollar Hot Dog night, and I won man of the match that night, and they handed me like a big tray of hot dogs, and they didn't tell me what to do with it, so I ate one, and then I was throwing the rest out to the fans, so it kind of stuck, and they like sticking.
You had a decision to make. It was either go like full Joey Chestnut in that moment, or just toss him out. I get it.
I just wanted one bite, and then I was like, let me just give some out. I don't need to waste all of these.
I love it. Well, this is year 2 for you, right? I'm sure last year the transition from college to the pros was one step, but now, what challenges are you experiencing year 2? What things are maybe a little bit easier? What's the transition now? You get it a little bit more, right? What's this transition?
Yeah, I think it's less of a transition, more of like a learning curve kind of thing. I think there was that big transition from college to pros, which is a huge jump, and you see a lot of guys struggle with that. I struggled with it myself, and I think I worked hard enough, and I was fortunate to have a good support system around me to help me adjust to the level where I feel very comfortable playing here now, and I think I can even go to a higher level, which is what I'm working for, is to be a better version of myself and a player. But this year, I would say like the biggest thing wants to start. Everyone wants to play every minute. I haven't done that this year. I've kind of had a different role. I've been off the bench a bit more, and I understand that there's competition on the team. We have a lot of good players around me, so I have to work a little bit harder, and I think that is more of my my learning curve, or that's my struggle this year, is just kind of earning that starting role more consistently than maybe 1 or 2 games at a time, and then being a bench off the bench player more games, 3-4 games in a row, and then starting again a couple. So for me, I think that's that's the next step for me, is transitioning into that kind of role, which is what I'd like to be.
To me, it's optimizing the minutes you get, right? Making the most out of whatever minutes you can, whatever performances you can, and doing the work and training behind it as well.
Exactly.
Before I dive more into the present day career, I had one listener reach out to me with a question. He asked me if you could talk a little bit about your time with USL League 2 and Ventura County Fusion. You got time in League 2.
Of course, yeah.
Announcing the NCAA schedule with the Summer League.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I have nothing but positive things to say about USL 2. It was kind of a crazy way I got out there. That's a story for another day. I could talk to you about that all day. But let's say I was willing to give me a shot and give me housing out there, because I was very late finding a team. They gave me a shot. Honestly, I was going out there from a very low D1 school to a place where I knew there was a lot of players from the top 10 schools. So I didn't really expect to play too much. Honestly, if I would have went out there and practiced the whole summer, I would have been fine. I would have learned from them and seen what happened. I think I got a start at the beginning of the year. The first game was a start, and I ended up scoring the game winner. And from there, my confidence was through the roof, and the coach liked me, and I started every game since then, and we won the national title. So that was just an amazing feeling. We had a great group of guys there. We were living with, fives, and these guys are still my friends. Like, I talk to some of these guys on a daily basis still, even though we're in different parts of the country, but made lifelong friendships there. Had an experience I'll never forget, and then ended up getting a really, really nice transfer off of the back of that season.
I was going to ask, I didn't know the exact timeline, so I apologize about that. But was it like your performance in USL League 2 opened up eyes to a larger college at that point, and you made the switch?
Yeah, it took a little bit longer than I'd hoped. I actually had a lease on my house in Milwaukee for a year right before I went out for USL 2. So I had to stay in Milwaukee until the spring season. So I ended up playing 3 seasons at Milwaukee, and then transferred after that season because I was ready. I felt confident that I could play at that level, and I was wanting something more, and I wanted a little more exposure. And that's when I went out to Oregon State. I committed to Oregon State, and then I actually went back out to Ventura for 1 more season there. So I played 2 summers there, had an incredible season there. Like, I was the USL 2 player of the year, like, had a bunch of goals. We ended up we only made it to the quarterfinals, so that was a little bit disappointing. But from an individual standpoint, it really helped boost my value, I would say. I think the coaches watching, the Oregon State coaches were like, oh, we got a player here. And so that was kind of what I was hoping, is that I could put on a show, and they'd be really happy with having me at Oregon State.
I mean, look, that entire career path boosted your value. You get drafted 3rd overall in the 2024 Super Draft, right? You come out, I think you make like we said before, you make the most of your time getting minutes with FC Dallas. And then at the end of the year, you also get a title in your first year. What was that experience? What was that conversation like? Maybe like, you're like, okay, you've been primarily an FC Dallas player all season long. I think you had like 1 or 2 appearances with North Texas. We're pushing for this playoff run now, and then you guys go and win it all.
Yeah, so I wasn't really involved with North Texas too much throughout the year. I think I really only played 1 game just because I wasn't really getting games with the first team. I think there was 2 games in a row that I didn't get minutes. So they said they'd like me to go play a game down there and get minutes, which I was completely fine with. Game minutes are game minutes. I'm not one of those players that thinks it's a demotion or like you're punishing me, like I wanted to use it. Maybe I wasn't exactly where I should have been. The coaches thought I wasn't at the level there. So I wanted to use that opportunity, maybe get some confidence back, get my touch back a little bit. And that was what I did. And then they came to me towards the end of the season after I started to get a run of games with the first team, where I was starting quite a bit, got some goals, some assists, and they offered me the chance and said, hey, we'd like for you to play in playoffs with us. If you'd like, you don't have to, but we'd really appreciate it because we'd want to make a run this year. And I actually had to go sit on the bench for 4 North Texas games, just rostered.
Right?
To be qualified to play. So I would just go sit on the bench and watch the whole game there. So it was kind of nice. Got to support my friends there a bit. And then ended up playing in, I think it was the quarterfinals. Got injured in the semifinals, and then had to come off, and then had a week to like kind of recover, and then played in the final. So it was incredible. It was a lot of fun. Great group of guys, great group of coaches, and it was just amazing experience.
You get to say you won an MLS Next Pro League title. You had 10+ goal contributions for Dallas your rookie year.
I would say so too. Yeah.
So I mean, you deserve 25, right? You had the managerial shift last year from Nico Estevez to Peter Lucine to now Eric Quill. I'm sure that's tough on any player, but especially a young player trying to figure out how to be a professional soccer player at the same time. What are some things you feel like you've learned from some of these managerial changes, and what's Eric like in the locker room? I've had some conversations before with some FC Dallas folk, and I've heard Eric's a pretty intense guy.
Yeah, I think changes always are difficult, and changes usually happen when teams aren't doing the greatest. So I think, we can say we didn't make playoffs last year. It wasn't a great year last year overall. Had 2 managers, a lot of coaching staff changes, a lot of player changes. So I would say it was definitely a difficult year, and then let alone I was adjusting myself to the new chapter of my life and career. So that was difficult. I think for me, when I play with different managers, I try to pick up at least a couple things from them. And from Nico, I think I became a lot more like positionally aware, because Nico was a lot more of a tactics guy than anything. I feel like he loved to think about the game, the positioning, and some of the coaching staff worked with me a lot one-on-one to figure out not just the 9 role, but also in the 10 role that I played a little bit last year, because obviously Musa was the 9. So I learned a lot there and kind of learned the different types of positioning. Then Peter came in and he kind of changed up the style a little bit. He was more of an aggressive, like direct player and type of coach, and he wanted the team to play in me. He brought out the aggression in our team, and then we transitioned to Eric. And I'm glad Eric was able to have a preseason, because I think maybe Peter missed out on that, and that's just kind of the way it goes. But you never know how it would turn out differently if someone has a preseason. So that's a big deal. I think we had a fantastic preseason this year. Was able to gel. We didn't have that. We did have a couple in and out guys like changing. So that's, again, difficult, but that's going to happen every year. And that's why you have a month and a half to get ready. So I think, Eric is an intense guy. I think he can flip that switch into a second where he's talking and then he gets really fired up about something. But to be honest, that's my type of coach. I like a coach that is going to care just as much as me or more. Like he's technically our leader, so he needs to lead from the front. He needs to lead with that energy, and I do like that.
And look, he was a former player of FC or Dallas Burn at the time, right? So he knows what he wants this organization and team to look like, play like, feel like, and I think that was a strong point as to when he got hired. We were talking about it on the show, and really like something I role. Mm-hmm. You mentioned, right, like understanding tactically a little bit more under Nico Estevez. This year, you've now gone from playing up top, from playing the 10 to up top to playing a little bit out wide. Third Degree Net wanted me to ask you, what's it like playing out wide versus maybe up top as a true 9? And is there that much of a difference for you when you're out there adjusting, I guess, on the fly?
Yeah, I think there definitely is a difference. As a 9, as a true 9, you don't really see the ball going forward as much. Your kind of back is to goal a lot. You're doing a lot of hold-up play. Maybe you're making runs in behind. But you're kind of fighting a lot of the game. Like, you got to be tough. You're getting hit from the defenders. And you're more waiting for your teammates to create that chance for you, which, looking at a striker like Musa, like, he's very good at that. Like, he's always in the right position. He's doing so well for us. And obviously, it's hard for me as a younger guy to start over a player like Musa. Like, realistically, that's not going to happen. So being able to adjust to different roles and kind of show my value as a player has transitioned me into like that 10 role or that winger role. And I don't mind it, actually. It's a change. I will say that it's a bit harder to score goals and maybe get the stats as much, but I think I get to be a little bit more involved in the game, which I think I can kind of influence the game in that way where maybe people haven't seen me play like that before because I haven't had the opportunity at 9 to show that I can dribble a little bit or make plays like that. So I enjoy it. It's a little bit more running, I feel like, on the wing. Defensively, it's a little bit more work, but I think I'm getting better at defending as well, so always trying to learn. But it's also nice to play with Musa as well because we have a very good relationship off the field. We're roommates on away trips. We spend a lot of time together, so I think that helps on the field as I kind of know him as a person and a player. I know what he wants, and I think he can say the same for me, and we kind of work off each other really well.
Obviously, Musa, he's coming from a career in Europe before here, and then there's the constant rumors and ties of him getting a transfer back and everything like that. What is it learning from someone like him that that you're learning for the now, right? You're trying to implement into your game, but also focusing more maybe on the longevity of your.
Yeah, I've talked about this a lot. I think every interview, someone always asks, like, who do you learn from, or do you have a good relationship with these guys? So it's a question I like answering because it is true. I think kind of what I said earlier is like you learn from a couple of things from each coach. I think that also goes for veteran players and players that are the top quality in Europe or who've been in the MLS for a long time, and you can see their quality. But especially Musa, since he's in my position, played in Europe, which is one day my goal to play in as well. And a lot, especially last year, I think when he first was introduced, it was very interesting to see how he was as a player, like his movements in the box. When he decided to make a run, when he decided to walk around a little bit, the type of shot he takes in the box, the type of movement he makes. So I think I always try to analyze, and I think we are different players. So I'm not trying to copy his exact play style more than kind of refine some smaller things that I think he's very good at.
I mean, look, I think that's completely fair. And you guys added another extremely talented player this offseason in Lucho Acosta, right? What's it been adding a former MLS MVP into the locker room? Obviously, someone who is probably in the top percentile of talented players in the league. What's that been in, the effect, I guess, on the Dallas locker room and the rest of the entire.
Yeah, I think that quality, that caliber of player is someone who's going to always be respected. And obviously, we know he's a former MLS MVP and the success that he's had. So we get excited to play with him, and even in training, he's a quality player. Like, it's hard to defend. I hate defending him because he moves so fast, and I'm not a defender as it is, so it's even more difficult when I get near him. He kind of just does a couple 1-2s and he's out. So no, it's always good. I think the more good players you have, the better your team will be, and he raises the level like a lot of the other guys do on a team.
How did you feel about the Dallas Burn throwback kits? Because those were up there compared to a lot of the other ones I saw.
I loved them. I have right here. Here's my art.
Is that it? Okay, I couldn't tell.
That's it from the game. They allowed us to keep one. And I don't know. It's fantastic. I love black jerseys. I had one in college. Played most, and I don't know, just something about it. A black jersey with some accents.
I mean, look, the Oregon State, right? That's black with a nice bright orange. Like that's a nice combo
exactly.
too. I like it.
Yeah.
The one of my final questions for you here, a little less soccer related, a little bit more personal for you, right? You're from Wisconsin.
Right.
Are you? It's from the Milwaukee area. I've only been to Wisconsin once, so I'm learning.
A little south of Milwaukee.
Got it.
About 30 minutes south.
Okay. So did you grow up Packers Brewers fan? Because I also saw it was kind of near Chicago. So I don't know what is the sport.
To be honest, I'm not a big MLB or NFL fan. I think both sports are a little slow for me, especially MLB. I've been to quite a few Brewer games since it's close to us, and we got tickets a lot. So I've been there. The atmosphere is pretty nice, but the actual game of baseball, I'm not a big fan of. And then the Packers, I've never been to a game, but I've been up to the stadium for a tour, and the stadium's incredible. But again, it's 3-4 hour games, a lot of commercials. a little, and the games there are cold, so I don't really want to go sit in the cold for 3 hours. Like, not really my thing as much. I like the NBA. I like going to Bucks games.
Okay.
Actually, when the Bucks won the finals in 2021, I was outside the stadium watching with like 60,000 people on the big screen. So that was a lot of fun. And obviously, I was in Milwaukee for school, so we were close by. So I'd say NBA was more the second sport that I was watching.
How you feeling about the Giannis situation going on?
To be honest, I haven't been keeping up too much. I don't really know. I know Giannis is a legend in Milwaukee. He's an amazing player. So I don't know if he's wanting to transfer or get traded. Hopefully he doesn't leave, but Look,
I'm a Knicks fan. I was hoping for a good while that Giannis would want to come play at MSG. That was my own thing, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's hanging around Milwaukee for a little bit. Logan, I have one final question for you, and it's a new question I'm asking everyone who I interview on the podcast. I'm going through a little bit of a personal kind of like trying to be grateful about life and focus on like the things and be positive, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm asking every single person at the end of the interviews, what are 3 things that you're grateful for right now?
Yeah, I think number 1, I'm grateful for all the people like around me, my support system. I couldn't be here without them. My dad actually lives right next to me now, in the apartment building next to me. So a little bit of space, but still close by. So he's my biggest support system. He taught me most of the things I know. But also some of the people that aren't involved in soccer, they're still nice, like a break from soccer. Yeah. So my girlfriend, my mom, my sister, close friends that I have from around the country that I still talk to on a daily basis. I think having that support system outside of soccer has helped me a lot. And I think everybody has their own support system and they will say the same thing. Number 2, I will say just thank God for the opportunity that I'm healthy. I have the talent to be here and that I wasn't able to do this by myself. Mm-hmm. So thankful to God. And then also just thankful for good health. I've been very fortunate. I've seen one of my friends from Oregon State, he got drafted here, and before he even had a chance to make a debut, he tore his ACL. So I see guys with bad injuries every day that are out for 8-9 months, and I just feel like horrible for them. And maybe it's a little selfish to kind of compare myself, but I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky I get to come out every day and tie my boots. So just grateful for that as well.
I don't think it's selfish. I think I can be grateful that I woke up this morning and I'm good enough health to come here, have a conversation with you and go for a walk and do whatever else is part of my day. So it's not selfish at all. I think being grateful for health and all of that is just fine. Logan, thank you so much for coming on, talking with me a little bit. Good luck to you in Dallas the rest of the way this season, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. I look forward to see. Where will you post it?
It's going to be posted on YouTube, our podcast platforms, and then I'll tag you on social media.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Sounds good. I look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Logan. Much appreciated.
No problem. See ya.